When I think about the Lakers, bro, and I think about the state that they in, I don't think about any coach. I think about the fact that y'all gave up KCP to the Wizards for Russell Westbrook. Like, that is the move, which no coach did. So that's what I mean when I say, like, the Lakers have some deep-rooted soul searching to do. Because Darvin Ham, like, if we think about a pie, Darvin Ham is only 25% of the pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If 25% of the pizza is gone and Derek ate it, there's no reason for me to come in here and be hot at Derek.
That's why I was saying,
75%
I don't even know what coach.
Derek, why you take them 2 slices right there? Why would I do that? 75% of the pizza.
Like, I didn't have no problem with them. Like, I knew Darvin Ham probably wasn't the right answer.
For sure.
But I don't think a lot of coaches were the right answer to solve what was going on, that was going on the floor, and to take us over the Nuggets. Like, most of that was stuff that we could have handled on the floor. We were up in every game. So obviously the players had
over 100 minutes. Y'all led the game for over 100 minutes.
I had Laker fans coming at me and saying, if this happened, if that's happened, and this happened, it's a whole different series. A majority of the stuff that they were saying were player related. That takes Darvin Ham out of the equation. If LeBron hit that shot, that's no longer coaching. That's no longer. If Rui would have slid over, that's no longer, because Rui should have slid over.
And it's some shit you literally can't control. If Jamal Murray is hitting those shots, you literally can't do nothing. You literally can't do nothing. You know, you got to tip your head.
Yeah, I do think that Ham is somewhat of a scapegoat. Mm-hmm. He also just wasn't very good either. So, like, I see both things.
Because as a fan, the pockets and the hands in the pockets would have pissed me off too.
I also gauge it because, like, they out of bounds. Like, when you come out of timeout, you expect to see something drawn up efficiently where you get an easy look. The Lakers don't generate easy looks out of timeouts. And it's just like, what were y'all doing in that huddle?
Yeah.
I want you to dive more on the scapegoat stuff.
Well, this team, let's be real, we enjoyed their offseason, don't get me wrong, but nobody's like, yep, they're going to beat the Nuggets if they go against them. Like, there was nothing, like, from the foundation, the team roster building that made me think that they could beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series. All of the things that made me think that maybe the Lakers could be a contender would be like if they were on the opposite side of the bracket and they ended up seeing them in the conference finals again, and Jamal Murray was injured in the series and he still dogged. But, like, if Jamal Murray's injured, then you have a chance. But it's like they have fundamental problems. And I think Rob Pelinka is aware of that, right? He didn't trade those first-round picks for role players right now. He was like, we're going to do this in the offseason. So the idea of bringing in a new coach, again, the 100,000th coach of the Lakers over the last 10 years, the idea of bringing in a new coach while simultaneously bringing in another piece or a bunch of pieces makes sense to me. Also, I think that what we see in basketball all the time is that once a coach has lost the locker room, there's nothing that can be done. Mm-hmm. Like, Frank Vogel's probably going to get fired in the next couple of days because they wanted to laugh when he raised his voice. And I think that Darvin Ham might have lost the locker room when Anthony Davis goes to the podium after game number 3 and he say something about I forget what his exact words, but he talked about Darvin Ham.
It's times of the games where we're not prepared. We don't know what to do.
On both sides of the floor.
And that's just a problem. I always think about that one video of, like, you know how they mic you up for the huddle, and Darvin Ham just gives the most generic quotes of things. We got to be better. They wanted more than us. It's just like the most generic quotes of things imaginable. And I mean, I don't know. I guess JJ Redick is a candidate. Tyronn Lue's a candidate, even though he might stay with the Clippers.
Kenny Atkinson was one.
Kenny Atkinson, and then Coach Bud. Coach Bud is interesting as well. He's a ceiling raiser for sure. But I think majority of what we're going to see progression-wise from the Lakers is going to be whatever they do with those draft picks and whatever person they bring in on the roster versus the coaching.
Another issue that I have, you have LeBron, who we are all aware of, he is aware of, Rich Paul is aware of. There's not a lot of time. So you brought in a rookie head coach in Darvin Ham. I'm not saying this to defend Darvin Ham, but some of the stuff was new to him. He was a rookie head coach.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure to be a rookie head coach.
And then one of the candidates is JJ Redick, who would again be a rookie head coach.
But this is my thing, P2. We all understand that usually when a team puts everything together in 1 year, it's probably not going to work that 1 year. So even in that, we might be looking at a 2-3 year span. And again, LeBron don't got that much time. He's the whole reason why this timeline is existing right now.
I
agree with you.
That's a big part of.
And I want the people at home to know what Mike is saying is it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Because people are going to take that, man, this team won in the first. That's not what he's saying. It's exceptions and anomalies and everything. But for the most part, that first year is that tie-in, buy-in year was the first start.
Because it takes a village to win it all. I mean, it takes chemistry. It takes, like, buy-in. It takes everything.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get that in 1 year.
That's what coaches do. Like they come in and they solidify a culture. I don't think the Lakers have a culture.
No.
They don't really have an identity. And like you need a coach to be there for time and like get the right pieces around him that fit his scheme and what he wanted to do. And like that's all takes time. You can't just win a championship overnight. And it's crazy to see that the Lakers consistently do this year in and year out, where they swing for the fence and they keep missing.
That's the annoying part of it. That's what I said in the title of my video. Fabulous said that in the song. People want different results, but do the same shit. And that's, I think of the Lakers. Like
They're trying to find love on a one-night stand.
you got these old man quotes. But the Lakers keep doing the same thing. It's almost like predictable. Yeah, they're going to go in the offseason and they're going to try to get a Trae Young or somebody, and we're going to run it back, and they're going to go on free agency and get these bottom-tier role players because they have no more payroll, so they got to keep shifting in and out of these guys.
Going into this year, I was excited is because it felt like, it's been a minute, but it felt like we were kind of bought into our players. Like we brought back D'Lo.
Yep.
We brought back Rui. Brought back Vando. We brought back a lot of people, and I was like,
absolutely,
we could have some continuity. It just still didn't work out, which is hard but you got to move on sometimes though too.
What scares me about the Lakers is that this is the healthiest season of LeBron and Anthony Davis, and this is the result. I can't bank on the fact that they are going to be this healthy again next season.
Not
I
even
hope
just
it,
healthiest, but like I honestly thought this was one of his best seasons in a long time.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Since the championship, honestly.
Yeah.
There's only been 5 coaches in NBA history to win a championship a year number one.
Steve Kerr. Let's
Oh,
guess.
you want to guess them? All right, go
Steve Kerr, Ty Lue. Phil Jackson.
ahead. No.
Shit.
All these recent?
No. One of them is recent, very recent.
Very recent.
He's coaching a new team now, so maybe that's why it doesn't come to mind. But he won a championship with a team, coached there for a few more years, and now he coaches a different team.
Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel?
Nope.
That's what I was thinking too.
It ain't Ime because he didn't win a championship.
Well, lock in, y'all. This is very, very gettable. Very, very gettable. Just think the championships over the last 10 years and think who was the coach of that team. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, he was a first
So the Warriors won a lot of them. The Cavs won 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
I already said Ty Lue and Steve
Nick
Kerr.
Nurse?
Nick Nurse. There you go.
Oh,
with the Raptors?
The Raptors.
Yep. And the other
yeah.
one is Pat Riley in 82.
That was his first year with the Raptors?
That's why
it
it's
was.
kind of like, wow, I
Casey
didn't think
got
that was his
fired?
first year.
Oh,
And then Nick Nurse
yeah,
came
that
in.
is. It doesn't feel like that. It didn't feel like that was his first year coaching.
1980, Paul Westhead also won it with the Lakers as a first-year coach. So that's pretty much it. JJ's my guy. I hope that he gets a coaching job eventually. I don't think this is a good coaching job.
I want him to go to the Hornets.
I
Go
also
to the
don't
place.
think that's a good coaching job.
Go
for
to
you,
the place.
JJ.
But at least that one has like, if they're god awful, they're not going to look at him.
Yeah.
That I'm glad you keep saying that, because to me that's the era that we're getting into with these championship teams. Is like I was saying, it's just like a trickle down effect where you have like the Nuggets. You have Tim Connolly. They got Michael Malone. They empowered Michael Malone when they had shortcomings. They didn't run from Michael Malone. They was patient with it, and he's been there long enough to have his voice be empowered and have a foundation and a culture built. It's the same thing with the Miami Heat doing. Yeah, they don't always have great seasons, but they don't run from their coach. They don't look to run, like they don't look to point no finger and blame him. And you gotta let somebody cook.
Yeah.
And I want JJ Redick or any of these new coaches for the first time to go somewhere where somebody's gonna let them cook, understand where we are. And it's a little different because the Lakers are just on a different scale.
Yeah.
So,
You remember when Jason Kidd first got to the Bucks? Was that when they were saying that like it was a little bit hard for him too because he was still coaching some of the people he was just playing against?
that was the Nets.
That was with the Nets. That kind of reminded me of what
Because he
could happen with
literally
the
went
JJ.
from the end of the bench to the head.
Yeah, that was the
If
Nets.
JJ gets the job, it's going to feel like a LeBron player coach.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're drawing up plays in their podcast together.
It's a terrible idea.
I don't love it. I
It's
do
a
not
terrible
love it.
idea.
Will they
It's a
still do the
Steve-
podcast?
It's a Steve Nash going to
Probably
Brooklyn.
not, which is another reason why I don't want him there.
Steve Nash going to Brooklyn all over again.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis and LeBron are coaches too.
Why won't LeBron solidify his legacy? This is like Stephen A. Smith first take stuff. Solidify his legacy by being the first player coach in the last 45 years. Talk to me.
No. I think LeBron being a player coach is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Because, and listen, I love Bron. I really, really, really do. I love him so much that I keep it real.
Do you think he just draw plays for his favorite people the whole time?
Bron has some antics and some stuff that I just couldn't see him being in that chair. His response to things is just like, I watched this little montage thing of like LeBron giving up on his teammates or
Oh
something.
yeah, I watched that too.
Wasn't most of that in the bubble? Or was it the year after the championship?
After the
Okay.
championship.
'Cause I was about to say, damn, he was doing all of this, and then they won the Larry O'Brien
The
like
Suns,
2 days later.
the Sun series. He was just like
yeah.
giving up on y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all was getting y'all ass ran.
THT took that shot. And bro to get back on defense with like 2 possessions, bro.
It was one
somebody-
play he didn't get back, and he was still mad. Like
Yes.
it was like, Brian, that was a 5-on-4, Brian. You didn't get back.
How you mad that your
Yeah, it takes a village, man. It
Brian, you
takes a
didn't get
village.
back.
He still do that to this day.
To this day. All right, that's
The
a lot.
worst one though. The play is done. There's nothing they can do about it. It is what it is. You're going into overtime. Ty Lue walked back. LeBron said, "We had a timeout." He said, "Yeah." LeBron said, when J.R. Smith called or didn't call the timeout or whatever J.R. Smith did, LeBron fell, put the towel and said, like, I know.
It looked like his world ended.
I know J.R. already felt bad.
Yeah.
When Bron did that, he was finna probably pack his bags that night.
He already knew. That was
He
the
called
only chance
his
had.
aides and his girl like, yeah, we need to go crib shopping. Put the house up for sale.
Let's get to some of these series that officially wrapped up. Let's start off with the Knicks versus 76ers. Close it out in game number 6.
Very exciting.
With a
series.
Josh Hart game-winning shot. The Knicks are moving on to the next round. We're going to talk predictions of them versus Pacers in a little bit. But how do we feel about the series overall? What would we grade it, and what's next for the Philadelphia 76ers? Those are all the things.
This was a grinded out series. This was grinded out.
A muck it up series.
And I was talking to P, and this was like, to me, offensive rebounds was the story of this series.
It's been the story of our season, brother.
Josh Hart and like Hartenstein, you can't
OG.
keep those guys. OG too, you cannot keep those guys off the board. And I felt like that honestly gave them the extra possessions, especially down the stretch. The OG dunk came off offensive rebound. Like a lot of threes came off offensive rebounds, and you really just can't give that up, when you're trying to pull out games.
Yeah, a lot of times we're going against a team that has like an MVP caliber player like a Joel Embiid. You have to outwork them because obviously he has the more skill. He's the better player. So the only thing you can really do is bring the energy and outwork them. Energy is contagious, and you saw with the New York Knicks, they all play with like this energy and this grit that they was diving on loose for loose balls, getting offensive rebounds in the passing lanes. Josh Hart energy was contagious throughout the whole team. He's hitting threes. He's not a dude that hit this many threes all year. So like you could definitely see that there was a trickle effect of playing with all that energy. And then Jalen Brunson got it going in game 3, and then it was GG's at that point.